Come from Michigan Psychological Care, Lara Hakamaki. Good morning, Lara.
Good morning. How are you guys doing?
Doing really well.
Good.
Doing really well. The weather's starting to turn a little bit. I'm sorry.
I noticed that. Did you notice that?
We gotta bring it up.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But I'm only bringing it up because of SAD, which is seasonal
Affective disorder. Correct.
Which
So
some of us have different times of year. Tell us a little bit about what that is.
So seasonal affective disorder, it impacts actually quite a lot of people, and it's when you get a lack of sunlight and your body starts to feel a little bit less happy and cheery. You know, when you're in the summer, you're outside, you're playing outside, the weather feels great, you feel good, and then it starts getting colder, you're outside less, it's getting darker earlier, you get tired earlier. So SAD, seasonal affective disorder, actually affects about 15 million adults.
Wow.
And sadly, it lasts usually about 40% of the year for most people, which is almost half of the year. So when you start to feel sad or, lack of energy around the colder months, it's likely that you might have seasonal affective disorder, and you should probably talk to a therapist or, get some sort of eval done to make sure that everything is going to be okay.
Yeah, it's not uncommon. You just said the numbers, so you're not alone.
Oh, it's huge. I think it's, which seems like a really small number, 5% of U.S. American adults. 5% is huge when it comes to this type of thing. So 15 million adults across the world, that's huge.
Kids are going back to school and new grades. Sometimes you're going in as the youngest now. So
Right.
Different schools bring different challenges. Talk a little bit about maybe what some kids and teens are going through.
Definitely. So school is hard, life is hard. And so you're going through a lot of transitions. And it's really, really difficult to be the new kid or the youngest kid or bullying. And we see that COVID kind of impacted how kids are in schools nowadays. So I actually brought some stats, and I'm going to make sure that I read the correct one because some of the numbers are very similar. But the Census Bureau's analysis on household pulse surveys stated that 50%, which is half, of adults 18 to 24 reported anxiety and depression symptoms in 2023. So that would be like our college-age students. So 50% of them have anxiety and depression. 26%, so more than 1 in 4 people reported more stress starting in 2023 than last year. It's up from 1 in 5 to 1 in 4.
Wow.
Let's see, 4.5 million kids are diagnosed with anxiety, and then anxiety, ADHD, depression, those are the 3 most common mental health disorders that kids may be impacted by. And the total number, so not just kids, is 800 million people have mental health disorders worldwide. So that's another huge number
Very
to look at.
significant. If you're a parent or, and you it's hard, we're not experts, maybe hard to identify a little bit. We notice some changes. It's okay to do something about it, correct? Call you guys.
So there's a lot of things you can do, and I always say that therapy is not a bad idea. It's never hurtful to talk to somebody and really figure out what your plan of action is. And I actually say that before things happen, you should see a therapist because you want to have the tools and the skills to get through a hardship coming. So why would you wait until you're already struggling to go see somebody? So if that occasion happens, you have the tools to get through it on your own and then bring in a therapist again to keep going through it smoothly rather than struggle and then go.
Another thing with back to school, kids are suddenly in a group of 30 strangers, and that can cause stress, social anxiety.
Social anxiety.
Yeah.
What is social? Yeah.
Social anxiety can mean a lot of different things. So it's really hard to describe what it means for one person versus the other. Social anxiety can mean like, it is very difficult for me to get up and go to school in the morning because I'm afraid I'm gonna get bullied. Or social anxiety can mean a group setting. I don't like going to the lunchroom because there's a lot of people around me, some of which I know and some of which I don't. So it can mean something different for everyone, and that's why it's important that you get individualized care, because you can't group everybody into having the same symptoms, the same experience. It's all individual.
Yeah, something as simple as the lunch
Yes.
can ruin a kid's day.
Well, and think about pep rallies where the entire school is in one small area, and if you're forced to talk, for example, I'm fine with talking. I've been on here a couple times. I used to, introduce our plays in school, but some people would have to introduce themselves for sports. I'm from the UP, so everybody had to. But they'd have to introduce themselves in front of the whole school, and how terrifying can that be if you're already nervous to talk to a small group of people? Imagine doing it in front of the entire school.
Yeah, someone hands a microphone, suddenly you freeze. It's the worst thing. The worst thing that could be thrust in your hand.
Yeah, it is.
Well, and
really.
everybody thinks that it's just them, but in reality, even the people, I'm sure you two still get stage fright from time to time, because it's a very real thing. Social anxiety is a very real thing, and it impacts everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, and really anyone and everyone can benefit from talking to someone. And do you have to have a referral, or somebody have to set you up to go to Michigan Psychological Care?
No, so that's what's great about Michigan Psychological Care is, one, we don't have a wait list right now in Jackson, so if you want to come in and get therapy, please reach out to us because we can get you in as soon as possible. The referral thing, so your physician can refer you, say, hey, I have this client that is experiencing anxiety, depression, PTSD, whatever it may be, but you can also just look on our website and send in a contact form. Hey, I'm looking for therapy in this location. I'm looking for telemedicine, which you don't have to be near any of our offices. You can call us, you can send us a message on Facebook. We're here. You just reach out to us.
Great. Well, thank you for all you're doing in our community, and thank you for the knowledge you brought with us today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Appreciate
Thank you.
From Michigan Psychological Care, Lara Hakamaki. More of the morning show right after this.